I've moved here from today, so you guys need to leave. One day, suddenly, my stepsister Kate burst into the house where we lived and said so. I have been covering all the payments for the house mortgage. However, when confronted with Kate's sudden demand, I calmly replied, "Understood, let's do that," and informed her about the remaining mortgage balance. Kate's face turned pale upon hearing this. I am David Baker. I live with my wife, Maria, and my in-laws. After getting married, we decided to live with Maria's parents and built a duplex for that purpose. For some reason, I ended up shouldering the entire mortgage for the house, even though I had doubts about this situation. Considering my relationship with my in-laws, I couldn't say anything. The reason I ended up paying the entire mortgage was due to a remark made by Kate. Originally, the plan was for my father-in-law and me to split the mortgage payments. However, upon hearing this, Kate argued, "Isn't it strange to make aging parents pay the mortgage? Besides, didn't mom and dad pay most of the down payment?" Although Maria argued against this, I, her husband, couldn't say a word. As a result, we ended up following Kate's suggestion, paying the entire mortgage. The monthly payment, which was supposed to be $1,000, doubled to $2,000. Despite all this, we were living peacefully as a family until one day. "We're going to live here. We've decided to live with our parents. So you need to leave. We'll pay the $1,000 mortgage," Kate suddenly declared. Taken aback by this sudden development, I replied, "Is that so? Well, the house still has a $600,000 mortgage remaining. There won't be any retirement pay either, so good luck with the payments. Right, Dad?" Kate, actually, that's true. It's impossible not to get retirement pay. Kate was shocked to learn that she would now have to shoulder a substantial mortgage. Wait, but this is a big house. Shouldn't paying just $1,000 per month be enough? No, that's not possible. I've always been paying $2,000 per month. What? But wasn't Dad supposed to pay for this house? There's no way he would make his beloved daughter bear the entire mortgage, right? Right. I'm retiring soon. It will be difficult to pay from now on. Wait, that's not what we agreed on. Oh, right. You can continue to pay the mortgage as usual. That way we can live here. Being asked to continue paying the mortgage even though we're being kicked out. I couldn't understand her logic. Then Maria stood up and started arguing. Wait, Kate. How can you suddenly come here and tell us to leave? I can't believe it. It's okay, Maria. We should leave. Let Kate handle the mortgage payments. After all, it was tough for me alone to pay that amount. I calmly reasoned with Maria. Hearing this, Kate frantically tried to stop us. Wait, I didn't say I would take over the mortgage. Despite Kate's screams, we ignored her and began preparing to leave the house. Are you planning to run away without paying the mortgage you signed for? I won't pay the mortgage for a house I don't live in. After all, Kate, you were the one who initially said to make me pay the mortgage, right? It's strange to make the elderly father-in-law pay, isn't it? It's only natural since we live together even though we're not family. Not even family? Are you saying I'm not family? Shocked by Kate's words, I couldn't help but ask her back. Isn't that obvious? You're just a stranger who married my sister. I've never thought of you as family. Yet you lived in this house, so it's only natural that you pay the mortgage. It seems she considers me a complete stranger. Is that so? Well, if I'm not family, I don't need to live in this house anymore. So I don't need to keep paying the mortgage, right? That's a different matter. I'm sorry, but I don't understand what you're saying, Kate. Because Dad is retiring next month, and we thought he would get a lot of retirement money. That's why we decided to move in. We thought the retirement money would make the monthly repayments lighter. That's why it's different from my plan. Your reliance on father-in-law's retirement money for moving in has nothing to do with me. Since you said you would pay the future mortgage, we'll be leaving. I didn't say I'd pay. I thought it was just a payment of $1,000 per month. And now you're leaving? Why didn't you tell me earlier that there was no retirement money? Were you hiding it from me? Talking about father-in-law's retirement money isn't something I should bring up. If necessary, he would have discussed it beforehand. Hiding it. It wasn't something for me to discuss in the first place. I have an idea. You could just leave here and send me money every month. Then there would be no problem. Wait a minute. There's no need for that. After all, you're the one who took out the mortgage. It's natural for you to pay it back, isn't it? Kate is endlessly greedy when it comes to money. I had heard a bit about it from Maria, but I never imagined it was to this extent. If we were to continue living here, of course, it would be natural for us to pay the mortgage, but there's no need to pay if we're leaving. Wait, why are you so arrogant? Understand your place. Of course, I understand my position. Then why can you say such things? It's unforgivable that you all hid from me about the absence of retirement money. Then the father-in-law spoke up. Kate always makes a fuss about money, so I didn't tell her. I knew she would start nagging like this if it came to money matters. Even her own father, the father-in-law, seemed troubled by Kate's obsession with money. That's why he hadn't discussed retirement money at all. You talk about money, but there's no money anywhere, right? Because there's no retirement pay, right? So where's the money? Do you have savings? That's why I thought there was no need to tell Kate anything. Why won't you tell me anything? There's no way I can pay a $600,000 mortgage. Then how about we call off living together? If that's the case, please leave this house. Why can you take such an attitude? I've already moved here. I've left my previous house and can't go back. But I have no intention of paying such a huge mortgage. That just sounds like your whim, Kate. You don't want to pay the mortgage but want to live in this house, right? Yes, because I am family. It's only natural for us to live together. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Everything you're saying is strange. How about living here for $1,000 a month then? If you agree to that, I might consider helping with the mortgage repayment. What's with that condescending attitude? Keep paying the mortgage as you have been. If that's not possible, then find a house for me to live in. Why should I need to do such a thing? If it comes to this, maybe it's better for you, Kate, to leave this house. But I have nowhere to go if I leave here. Don't make me repeat the same thing. We are going to leave, so if you can pay $1,000 per month, you can stay here for a while. We will go to my parents' house, so please leave as soon as you find a place. Why do I have to look for another place to live when you guys are leaving? It's fine if you guys just leave. So, you're saying you will pay the entire mortgage for this house from now on? I already told you that's impossible. Fine, I'll leave when I find a house. You're going to pay for the moving costs, right? Why should that be the case? Please take care of that yourself. My plans are all messed up now. I wish we could have discussed such an important matter properly. I almost ended up bearing a huge mortgage. Subsequently, Kate agreed to live with the in-laws for a while, paying $1,000 per month. David, why do we have to leave? This is so unfair. But it's tough living with Kate, and she agreed to pay while living here. I think my parents will let us stay for about 2 months. Poor sister. Staying at your husband's parents' house must be uncomfortable and difficult, right? You can stay in this house if it's just you. Why are you so arrogant? Living with David's parents is much better than staying with a sister like you. Maria couldn't contain her anger at Kate's selfish attitude. However, it seemed her words didn't reach Kate. What? I'm just offering a suggestion. Sister, are you brainwashed by him too? $1,000 a month, huh? Well, I was planning to pay that from the start, so it's fine. Look, if you say anything more bad about Maria, I'll increase the amount you need to repay. What's with you? Suddenly raising the price, that's just extortion. I don't even want to talk anymore, just pack your things and leave. Though we were unsatisfied with having to leave, there was a part of us that thought it was inevitable if we had nowhere else to go. And if it meant living with Kate, leaving seemed like the better option. Then, please send $1,000 every month to my parents' house. You can also transfer it directly to the bank account. Why do I have to go through such trouble? I can just give it directly to my dad. Weren't you the one who said that all the mortgage payments should be made by me? So the mortgage is set to be deducted from my account. Right, I remember now. But transferring money every month is a hassle and costs fees. Oh, that's right. The mortgage will continue to be automatically deducted from your account even after you leave, right? So I don't have to pay anything, huh? That's great, then leave quickly. Kate said something outrageous with a smile. Does she even understand what she's saying? What? You don't plan to pay? You said you would pay $1,000 earlier, didn't you? Did I say that? Did I sign a contract or something? Do you have any proof? If that's settled, I plan to live here from now on, so please take care of the mortgage payments. Kate spoke haughtily. She's out of her mind. She was blatantly planning to evade the mortgage payments. Why didn't I realize this sooner? The deduction is originally from your account, so I don't need to pay anything. I was about to lose $1,000 every month. Wait, that's not what we agreed on. What's different? Living in such a big house for free, there's nothing luckier than that. Trying to make your sister-in-law pay? You're such a terrible man. I can't believe my sister married someone like you. I can't believe how absurd she is. I was completely stunned by the shock of it. Then suddenly, the father-in-law raised his voice. Kate, what are you saying? David is a wonderful person. He agreed to take on the mortgage all by himself without any complaints. I'm truly grateful to you, David. Thank you. Thank you, Father. I hope we can live together again someday. What's this? You two are so creepy. Do you think you've become a real father and child or something? And you continuing to pay the mortgage while living in a different house? What a pitiful person. Kate, enough is enough. Watch how you speak. Why do I have to be nice to this guy? He's just a stranger after all. If you just listen, it's nothing but selfish talk. How can you behave like this towards such an honest person? Dad, you've lost it. What's so honest about him? He's trying to make me pay money. Then the father-in-law began to speak quietly. Staying silent won't do any good anymore. Actually, the retirement pay will come as planned. What do you mean? That's different from what you said earlier. Once the retirement pay comes in, I will pay off the mortgage for this house. We plan to use our savings and the retirement money to pay it off in full. That's what I promised David. You said earlier there was no retirement pay? So you all deceived me. That's too much. Hearing the truth from her father, Kate started to act as if she was the victim. At that moment, the mother-in-law, who had been listening silently, spoke up. Actually, I was the one who told Kate to keep quiet about it. Your father, David, and Maria, none of them did anything wrong. The mother-in-law began to explain the situation. When we were building this house, you wouldn't listen and insisted that David should pay the entire mortgage. No one else agreed with you then. But David didn't complain and willingly signed the contract because he was living with this. So when your father's retirement was approaching, I suggested that we tell Kate there was no retirement money. What do you mean? Why did you hide the retirement money from me? Your mother told us that you would probably try to do something with your father's retirement money. Also, during the time I was repaying the mortgage, your father gave me money every month. He said, I never intended to burden you alone. But I was so happy that you signed the contract without any complaints. What's that? If you're going to give money to someone who's not even family, you should give it to me, your real daughter. What a waste. You are really the worst. I never thought you would tell David and Maria to leave at this time, as your father's retirement is approaching, and you wanted to make David pay all the mortgage. What kind of nerve is that? I had never seen the mother-in-law speak in such a harsh tone before. Kate's behavior must have been that intolerable. However, Kate seemed not to care at all, even seeing her mother like this. So what? If there's a way to live in such a big house for free, anyone would do it. Besides, Dad worked hard for so long to raise his cute daughter, right? I should be thanked, if anything, Kate retorted defiantly. Yes, you were so cute when you were little. And I worked hard thinking it was all for you. I never thought you'd become such a terrible person. What? It's unmistakably you and Mom who raised me this way. Kate, I can no longer think of you as my daughter. Someone who can only say such unreasonable things is not my daughter anymore. Kate seemed confused by her father's unexpected words. What do you mean? What are you saying? Disownment. You are no longer allowed to live in this house. The father-in-law said this looking straight into Kate's eyes. His resolve seemed firm. Seeing this, Kate finally started to panic. Wait, what are you saying? I've already moved here. What are we supposed to do now? That's for you to figure out. If necessary, find a hotel. If you don't have money, you'll have to sleep outside. Just take your things and leave right now. David and Maria will continue to live in this house as usual. This house belongs to them. Saying this, the father-in-law began to move Kate's belongings outside the house. Wait a minute. Are you really going to abandon your own daughter and let a stranger live here? We don't have much money. It's because you said such terrible things about letting me pay the mortgage while only you live here. Father-in-law, thank you for being on our side. I'll help with the luggage. Stop it. The conversation isn't over yet. The conversation is over. There's nothing more to talk about with you. The father-in-law was cold and unchanging in his demeanor towards Kate. Kate seemed to finally realize the situation she was in. Okay, I get it. I'll do it myself, so stop messing with my luggage. Kate, I'll help you with the luggage. How about living at your husband's parents' house? What are you talking about? You're the worst. Living at my husband's parents' house is uncomfortable, and I don't want to. I hate having to be considerate. So you are considerate. That's surprising. I couldn't help but respond sarcastically to Kate's words. What? Stop it right now. As Kate yelled, she tried to hit me. Thankfully, the father-in-law and mother-in-law stopped her. Hey, Kate, if you hit someone, that's a real crime. I'll call the police. But he said terrible things to me. It can't be helped. Your attitude is terrible. Why are you so obsessed with money? Because you can't live without money, right? Sure, money is necessary, but you've always been too reckless with it. That's why you always get into financial troubles. I'm sick of you relying on our money. The father-in-law spoke sternly to Kate. Kate has always been like that since she was little. She frequently took money from my piggy bank and even stole my New Year's gift money, right? So what? I just used the money you weren't using. Money should be put to use, or it's a pity. But that was my money. You never returned it despite how much I asked. I still want it back. Hearing Maria's words, Kate laughed and retorted, I don't remember such old things. It's just childhood stuff, not a big deal. You're so petty about such small things. You haven't changed at all since then. LOL. Suddenly, Kate's husband joined the conversation. Kate, I've been patient until now, but I've reached my limit. You've troubled your parents, been rude to your sister, and your words to your brother-in-law are too harsh. Your reckless spending has always been a problem for me too. What? You've always been quiet, and now this? You've never complained about my spending. The money I use is what you earn. Isn't it because your earnings are low that we run out of money? Don't you think about earning more? I'm tired of your attitude. It's not because of my earnings that we have no money. It's because of your wasteful habits. Wasteful habits. If it makes me happy, any way of spending is fine. Do whatever you want. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've decided I want a divorce. He must have been enduring a lot until now. After an argument, Kate's husband finally brought up divorce. Divorce? Why are you suddenly talking about this? It's not sudden. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Kate seemed flustered by her husband's unexpected words. Wait, what should I do now? I'm going back to my parents' house. I always hoped you'd change, but it was useless. Today made it clear that you will never change. I'll send the divorce papers. Kate's husband began to silently pack his belongings. Wait, where should I go? I thought I could live in this house without spending money. What am I supposed to do now? You're all really the worst. Even at this point, Kate began to make a scene, acting as if she was the victim. Meanwhile, her husband remained calm. What you decide to do is up to you. Father, Mother, I truly appreciate all the help you've given me. Thank you, brother and sister. I'll be leaving now. With those words, he left the house. Your husband has left, Kate. Do you realize that your behavior has led to this? It's your own doing. What are you talking about? It's all your fault. You schemed behind my back with my parents, putting me through this. If you had just quietly left, everything would have been fine. Is that so? But in the end, it's you who has to leave. Abandoned by your husband, disowned by your father and mother. If my sister hadn't married someone like you, none of this would have happened. Kate was losing her composure, shouting loudly. Even now, she still insists that she is not to blame. It seems impossible to reach an understanding with her now. Watching Kate, the father-in-law said quietly, Kate, it's time to admit it. The original problem was you. It's not David's fault. Even your father says so. Kate, you should reflect on your past actions. What, all of you? Really the worst. With that, Kate lost everything. Her home, her husband, her family. Any belongings you can't take now, I'll send them later. Where should I send them? Ignoring my words, Kate left, trembling with anger. I later heard that Kate was living a pool life alone. She still hadn't cured her habit of overspending. constantly buying what she wanted and repeatedly getting into debt. As for us, we continue to live a happy life with our in-laws as before. A while after that incident, we had a child. With no worries about rent, we've been able to save for our child's education. I'm truly grateful for our current situation.